Hi, welcome to the round 21 preview here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. It's going to be the Blues and the Dockers at Optus Stadium in the graveyard shift. So this will be 5:10 p.m. Oh boy. We're coming off the Hawthorn loss. Solid break. Nice 10-day break between games now. So coming off the Hawthorn loss, which was disappointing. 4 more games to go. That ominous feeling of the end and really just waiting in this awkwardness for the change to come. Player turmoil. Charlie Curnow rumours quelled. Now it's Jack Silvani's turn. He might be going to Collingwood. He's met with Craig McRae. McRae said that it was like a first date and it went good and he wants a second date. It is becoming chaos at a soap opera, and it's just gross. And then amongst that, there's the opportunity to see the future and the kids, which is exciting. So that's fine. But yeah, it's weird because you really shouldn't be looking too far into the future in life. You should always just take each moment for what it is and be fully present. But it's so hard to be present right now. Like, in my mind anyway, and I don't know how you're all doing it. I'm from those of you who I speak to, you are doing it in a similar way. Like you have to stay present because that's all you've got in this life. But how can your mind not wander to what's going to happen in a month from now? Like it's done. Like it's all said and done. Club's dysfunctional. The club has miserably failed in whatever it was trying to achieve at the start of the year from a football perspective, from an on-field perspective. Like it's been a miserable failure and a collapse. And we're pretty quickly being tasked with focusing our attention onto the future, because it's only when I think about the future that I can find some sort of joy in this sport right now, because what's happening in the present is just such an indictment on the club and the decision makers and the decisions that have been made, whether that be internally, whether that be list management, coaching, players, whatever, like the whole lot. So yeah, it's like a full purge at the moment. That's what it feels like. Just a full purge. It's all spilling out. There will be no papering over the cracks, no sugarcoating it. It's just all being laid out, which I do believe we'll look back on this time and it will be a blessing eventually, because there just can be nowhere to hide. It all needs to come out. So that's what it feels like for me at this point. And then we play against the Dockers, who they really don't like Carlton. They really don't like Carlton. I've done previews in the past with Druzy, and he's spoken about, from his point of view, a rivalry sort of brewing, and Carlton have had the wood over the Dockers, so to speak, with the close wins that we've had over there. We've actually got a pretty good record against the Dockers in Perth. The last time we played them was way back in April 2024, which was gather round, controversial ending with a double free kick to Cottrell, if you remember. We won that game by 10 points. The time before that, we beat them up pretty convincingly. That was after the bye in 2023, where we came out and absolutely smashed them by 50 odd. I don't get that feeling this week with the group. I don't have any confidence in this current group, in its current form, with the context of everything that's going around. I don't have any confidence that any win can happen against finals type sides. The Dockers have so much to play for. This is around about the time last year where I think it unraveled for them. They finished poorly for 2024, and they're on the way up, and they're a finals contender, and so I expect to see the best version of Fremantle, and I expect to see a better version of Carlton. And again, I'm always expecting a spirited version of Carlton. So whoever's going to be there for the future has to perform in a way that shows their worthiness of being a part of it. And it's got to use the next 4 games and the rest of the season to drive some sort of a standard, I think. So yeah, I'm not very confident about this week. I'm kind of grateful to be in Melbourne this week and go from there. Maybe that's just being a defeatist, but whatever. I have seen nothing from this football club to suggest that it can do this week. I mean, I'm filming this on a Wednesday, and we're still rolling around with Sam Doherty tribute videos online. So I don't know. Like, take nothing away from Doc. Love Doc, but it kind of does show something. Like, we're still seeing Doc videos. It's Wednesday. I've got a game this week. I've got to focus on that. Some news. Ashton Moyer signed a 2-year extension. There's some positive news there for the future. So we've locked a lot of the promising kids away, the ones that have shown some good signs. Ashton was one that was spoken about a few weeks ago. So he's signed an extension. That's good. He'll get a chance, hopefully, to play again this week. And go from there. Well, we're going to replace Doc. Doc won't play this week. The VFL are playing on Saturday night. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with selection. We will have 2 versions of the team show. The extended team show on the Thursday, the final team show on the Friday. Harry Lemmy's been a topic of conversation. He won't be playing. He did a hamstring. He was on the injury report this week. So we know that will be the case, which is disappointing because you just feel like it was the perfect spot now to get him in. But it is what it is. It's unfortunate. If we look at the injury list and we look at the report that was given to us, we know that Francis Evans will be available after coming out of concussion protocols. Whether he plays straight away or not remains to be seen. Flynn Young will be a test, but should be available to play. McGovern will not be ready, along with Harry Lemmy, who we've touched on. We haven't seen much about Sam Walsh. I did see Sam Walsh at training. I wouldn't say I saw Sam Walsh at training in the context of him being ready to play, but he was at training. So there's that. Jack Silvani is an interesting one. So on the 15th of July, over 2 weeks ago now, we saw that he had the groin soreness. He continues to be monitored. The club were going to provide a further update once he was able to increase his training loads. So I didn't see him at training on Tuesday, but we are now told that he has done a medical at Collingwood and that he's met with Craig McRae. So I've done a video on this. I've actually unpacked the entire week's worth of stories on that. So maybe after this video, you can check that out and have your say about that. But just seeing Jack Silvani in Collingwood stripes is not very good. So that's that. That's the Dockers. Sunday late afternoon into the evening. How are you? What are you even thinking about when it comes to this game? How do you even approach mentally for the game, knowing that there's still 3 more after this one? It's torture. And if there's anything to take from this that I can reflect on, usually by now we know like the pressure release comes in the form of sacking a coach, for example, or announcing the external review or whatever. This is one of those rare times where we're just being made to sit in it and just wait until the end of the season before the action really begins, or until the 15th of August, until the action begins from there. So how do you process that? How have you processed the week's news, and what comes to mind when you think about the Dockers on Sunday night? We'll chat about it from there, and talk soon. Go Blues.